All right, so we are going to apply our systems equations. If you're watching the recording because you're not here, well, I hope you feel better. But thing number 2 is print this out. All of the problems are going to be printed. I'm not going to take the time to write them on the board. So what we are going to concentrate our efforts on, by this point in the homework, you've done your homework for section 3.1. You've solved a whole bunch of systems. Hopefully you're feeling pretty good about that. What we're going to take our time to do is we're going to use the word problems and we're just going to set the systems up. Okay? Because hopefully by this time you feel comfortable solving. We've talked about solving. There's nothing new as far as that's concerned. That's going to allow us to do a few more of these problems. So we're going to start with example 1. I'm going to do this with you. Okay, so this is example 1 on the page. We're going to read it together. It says a soccer field is constructed with a perimeter of 320 yards. Let me stop right there, because maybe there's an unfamiliar word right there. Circle the word perimeter. It's a key word to this problem. The first type of problem you're going to see, there's 2 types. Examples 1 through 4 are addition problems. They involve addition somehow. Examples 5, 6, 7 are what's called mixture problems. Okay, so these are the 2 types of problems you're responsible for in my class. Okay, circle the word perimeter. What does perimeter mean about something? I'm going to differ with just one word. I think you meant the right thing, but you said the word area. It's not area, it's the distance. It's the linear distance around the outside of something. That's what the perimeter is. So how do you find the perimeter? I don't care about a formula, just in general. How do you find the perimeter of anything? You just add up the sides. Okay, so if you didn't know that, if you didn't remember perimeter, right, make yourself this note, because there's a bunch of perimeter problems on the homework. The perimeter, all you do is you add up the sides. I try to remember as few formulas as I possibly can. So I'm not going to make you memorize a formula. I'm going to show you how to do this problem without doing it. Okay, so I'm going to continue reading. A soccer field is constructed with a perimeter of 320 yards. Its length measures 40 yards more than the width. What are the dimensions? So here's my question 1. Do we know either the dimensions? Do we know the length or do we know the width? Okay. Am I told the length is equal to 50 and the width is equal to 70 or anything like that? Am I told a value for either of those things? No, so we don't know, right? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to draw a picture of a soccer field. Not going to worry about the inside. Here's how I'm going to label it. I'm going to label the width W, because I'm really clever. And I'm going to label the length L, because again, I'm really clever. There you go. I know word problems are difficult. The key to the word problem is taking the information from the sentences and making equations out of it. That's hard, okay? And that's the hard part to these problems. So the first sentence says the perimeter is 320 yards. Let's figure out an equation for the perimeter. You told me already, or somebody told me, the perimeter means to add up all the sides. So let's do it. I'm going to start with this side. This side is what? Not a trick question. It's W. Yes, perfect. What's this side up here? I'm sorry? Yes, it's L. It's the length. What's this side over here? W. What's this bottom side? And that's equal to 320. All I did, I don't remember a formula. I'm not interested. All I did was remember the perimeter is when I add up all the sides. So I did that. I'm going to collect my like terms, and I've got my first equation. W plus W is 2W. L plus L is 2L is equal to 320. Maybe that formula looks familiar. Okay, if you remembered it, that's even better, but you don't have to. That's my first equation in my system of equations. Again, circle the word perimeter, key word. The next equation says the length measures 40 more than the width. The length measures, so there's a comparison word there. A word like measures or is right there, that means equals. So again, circle that word measures. Okay, that means you put a ruler down or something. So that means equals. Put a little equal sign right there by the comparison word measures. So I'm just going to go word by word. The length, I'm stopping. What am I using to symbolize the length? L. Measures. What did I just tell you measures means? Equals 40 yards. I don't care about the yards, but 40 is 40. More than. What operation does more than mean? Not multiply. Add. Yeah. Perfect. More than means add. I'm just going word by word, translating. The length measures 40 more than the width. What am I going to put here for the width? Perfect. There's my second equation. I know that's a difficult skill. I get it. Okay, I am not belittling you. I'm not trying to say, okay, this should be the easiest thing you've ever done. Okay, it takes getting used to. There's my two equations. And the way this problem was written for us, substitute. It's going to be the most direct way. Or you can bring the W over here and you can eliminate. You can always do every problem either way. It doesn't matter. I'm going to stop it here. Okay, on the homework, you'll have to keep going. But again, my assumption is you've already done the homework for 3.1. Solving, hopefully, at this point will not be the big deal. Okay, the big deal now is setting up the system. So what I would like you to do, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes. I want you to look at example 2. It's a super similar problem. Okay, you're now just going through and thinking through. And if you have time, you can solve it. But what I want you to do for example 2 is set up the system that we would use to solve that. Okay, set it up. So this problem says something very similar to what the previous one did. It says this time instead of a soccer field, we got a parking lot, just to not always be the exact same thing. We got a parking lot that has a length that is 10 feet more than the width, than twice its width. The perimeter of the parking lot is 620 feet. So what are the dimensions? So same sort of thing. We're told perimeter. Perimeter is the key word here. It's what relates everything together. So I'm going to start with that. And then we'll make an equation from the other sentence. And then you'll ask any questions you have, anything you didn't see. So the first thing is that the perimeter of this parking lot is 620 feet. So again, perimeter you told me already is I just go around the figure. So if it's a rectangle, there's 4 sides. If you're told you've got a triangle, it's 3 sides. I don't think you'd have anything in your homework other than those 2 figures, but you just add up however many sides there are. So the left side is the width, plus the top side is the length. The right side is the width. The bottom side is the length. And that in this problem, short-term memory problems, is 620. If you just remember the formula for perimeter of a rectangle, then you don't even have that step. You just went right to 2W plus 2L is equal to 620. Fantastic. There it is. There's my first equation. Anybody have a question about where this came from? Because I feel like I might put a perimeter problem on the test. And I want to feel good about that. Like, it's very straightforward. Okay, interesting. The other sentence says the length is, so again, I'm just going to go word by word and I'm going to translate. The length, L, is an equation word, equals. Okay, just like measures, anything that sets up a relationship, that's where you're going to have equals. So the length is 10 more than. So 10 more than means, okay? Not did you say multiply or did you say plus? Sorry. I'm going to say plus. It's plus. More than means add. Okay, but maybe I misheard. 10 more than, twice its width. Now here's another word maybe we haven't seen. Does anyone know what the word twice means when you use it? Multiply by what? 2. Yep. So twice the width. And there it is. The length is 10 more than twice the width. Just word by word, I went and translated that problem. All right, we're going to look at example 3 together. Okay, those are perimeter problems. Addition. Okay, example 3 says this. For 2012-2013 season, 2 hockey tickets and 1 basketball ticket cost that amount of money, $173.01. 1 hockey ticket and 2 basketball tickets cost $162.99. What's the cost of each? Okay. Great. An addition problem. That's a little bit different. That's why we're going through, so we can see the different ways these things are going to be given to you. Okay, well, drawing a picture is not since we're talking about prices, drawing a picture is not going to help us. So what we're going to do this time is define our variables just by writing it out. Okay, the picture earlier defined my variables, my width and my length. This time it doesn't. So we're talking about hockey tickets and basketball tickets. So what variable do you want to use for a hockey ticket? Sure, yes, it's very clever. I always recommend that. That way at the end, there's no confusion about what you've just found. So H is hockey. And then basketball. Yes, thanks for playing along. B. So I'm going to read the first sentence again, and we're going to see if we can't make that into an equation. First sentence says, 2 hockey tickets and 1 basketball ticket cost $173.01. So let's just go phrase by phrase. 2 basketball tickets. No, I'm sorry. 2 hockey tickets. 2 hockey tickets. How should I represent that? 2H. 2 hockey tickets. Yes. What am I going to do with my 2 hockey tickets? The amount of money I spent that, and then in a minute we're going to do our basketball ticket, the amount of money. What operation am I going to use to join these 2 things together? What'd you say? We're going to add them. Yes. So 2 hockey tickets plus 1 basketball ticket. So what am I going to put here? What's my next term? You can put a 1 in front of the B if you want to remind yourself. That's great. 2 hockey tickets plus 1 basketball ticket costs $173.01. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. The second sentence, I want you to write, what's the other equation that you would have to use to solve this system? It says 1 hockey ticket, 2 basketball tickets cost $162.99. So 1 hockey ticket, how do I start? And 2 basketball tickets is equal to, and that's $162.99. And then this problem, again, you can solve it either way. It's set up, I would eliminate just because of the decimals. I would I would multiply this one by -2 and eliminate, but you can subtract the 2b and use substitution. Either way would work just fine on this problem. All right, one more problem we're going to set up. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that. Example 4. I'm going to define the variables, though, just so that we're all using the same thing. It absolutely does not matter what letters you would use, but let's use G for general admission. And then use C for children's. Just so we're all using the same letters and don't get conflated. All right, the first sentence says 2 general admission theme park tickets and 3 children's tickets cost $239.95. I'm going to stop there. What equation did you form from that? 2G plus 3C. Yeah, $239.95. Great. Okay, we're just writing down exactly what we've been told. The next one says 1 general admission and 4 children's is $224.95. So that equation is going to be what? 1G, or just G, plus 4C, 95. And again, you can solve for G. That would be a fairly reasonable letter to solve for. You could substitute if you feel like using that method. I would eliminate by multiplying this bottom one by -2. Okay, that's going to go nice and straightforward, but you have options when you come to solve it. Okay, so that's setting up some equations. We will finish that section next time. I hope